My name's Pat Furr. I'm a chief instructor with Roco Rescue Incorporated, and I'm here to talk to you today about the OSHA expectations for safe entry into permit required confined spaces, and specifically what the employer's responsibilities are to ensure that the designated rescue team can provide a timely response to emergencies during permit required confined space entry work. So what is the employer's responsibility for providing prompt rescue for those employees entering permit required confined spaces? And when we're speaking of OSHA, I really want to read verbatim out of the standard, which is OSHA 1910.146 for permit required confined spaces. And paragraph K states, an employer who designates rescue and emergency services shall evaluate a prospective rescuer's ability to respond to a rescue summons in a timely manner, considering the hazards identified. And those last four words really are the crux of what we're talking about in making that determination of what a timely rescue is. And those last four words being considering the hazards identified. And that's going to be a big determinant on the response time of the rescue service, be it an in-house rescue service, being a municipal responder or 911 call, or a contracted standby rescue team, a third-party professional rescue team. What will be considered timely will vary according to the specific hazards involved in each permit required entry. If we induce the rescue team to hurry their rescue because of an arbitrary time limit, the rescue team themselves may be taking risks that would not normally be taking if they weren't trying to meet a time limit. The response time should solely be based on the hazards associated with the space, how quickly these hazards could overcome an entrant and start causing irreversible pathologies or cause the victim to be unable to rescue themselves. It would hinder their rescue. So with that in mind, the baseline assessments of these permit required confined space should be inclusive of the types of hazards based on if it's a material safety data sheet, the first aid equipment, and the pathologies included on the MSDS. And that information needs to be available to the prospective rescue team so they can ensure that they base their response times on the hazards. They can prepare and understand those hazards and the effects of those hazards not only on the entrants but on the rescue personnel, and can base their selection of their personal protective equipment on those types of hazards. The best solution for that, especially for outside rescue teams, be it a municipal response or a contracted standby rescue team, is for the employer to invite the prospective rescue teams onto the site. And that allows the rescue team to do a very good evaluation and pre-plan for the rescues, including anchor points, types of systems they may employ, the hazards of the space, how to mitigate the hazards if able, how to protect themselves from those hazards when the time comes. And they can actually pursue the idea of practicing simulated rescues, if not from those exact spaces, but from representative spaces. We call it learning the lay of the land. One of the avenues that we find is very successful is CSRTs, contracted standby rescue teams, which would fall under the third-party professional rescue services. We at ROCO do a lot of CSRT work. A lot of this work is for private sector. Some is for petrochemical, pharmaceuticals, all kinds of various industries. And we found through years of doing CSRT work that most of our effort is directed towards preventive measures as opposed to rescue measures. We have a saying that we like to banter about in ROCO is the last thing you want to see us doing is a rescue. Our goal is to ensure a safe entry, do what we can to assist the employer and their crews to abate as many of the hazards and still be able to do the work they need to do in those confined spaces. But if we can at any time take an opportunity to prevent an accident from happening, we're going to seize that opportunity. Again, we'll get plenty of practice in our simulated scenarios during our training and everything. If we never have to do another confined space rescue, that would be a wonderful thing, and our goal is indeed just that.